It was past midnight in the towering glass headquarters of one of New York's biggest tech firms. Most of the building had gone dark, save for a few glowing monitors and emergency lights. The silence was thick, broken only by the quiet squeak of Ethan Cole's mop across the marble floor. A janitor in his mid-40s, Ethan moved with steady purpose, his weathered hands used to hard work. He wore a faded uniform and a soft smile, humming a lullaby his daughter loved, a habit he never broke, even during night shifts. Ethan wasn't just cleaning, he was surviving. A single father after losing his wife to illness, he'd taken this job to provide for his daughter, Emma. No one at the company knew much about him, just that he was quiet, polite, and always on time. During his break, Ethan passed by a glass-walled conference room. Inside, a heated discussion was unfolding among a team of senior engineers. Charts filled the whiteboard. Lines of code, error logs, and a red headline that read, "System failure, cost, $100 million plus." Ethan paused, curiosity drawing him closer. His eyes scanned the board quickly, silently absorbing the logic. A thought sparked. Carefully, he stepped inside, picked up a marker, and wrote one simple line of code beneath the mess. Then, without a word, he put the marker down and walked away, disappearing into the dim hallway. No one noticed him. Not yet. But the line he left behind would change everything. The next morning, the office buzzed with urgency. Engineers gathered early, expecting another grueling day of trying to fix the catastrophic system error that had already cost the company millions. The same whiteboard that had been cluttered with confusion and frustration the night before now had something new, one small line of code written neatly in the corner. At first, no one noticed. Then one junior developer paused, narrowed his eyes, and whispered, "Wait, this wasn't here yesterday." Another engineer leaned in, analyzing it. Within minutes, they ran it through the system. The screens lit up, no errors. The critical glitch was gone. "Who added this?" someone asked, stunned. Heads turned. They checked every login, every system access log, nothing. Then someone pulled up security footage. The entire room went silent. There he was. Ethan. The janitor. Standing alone in the room after hours, mop bucket beside him, scanning the board as if he belonged there. And then, writing the fix. News reached the top floor fast. Victoria Hart, the CEO known for her sharp decisions and high standards, stared at the footage, expression unreadable. "A janitor," she said quietly. Her advisors nodded, still in disbelief. "Get him up here," she ordered. Everyone expected a mistake. A coincidence. But deep down, some knew, the man they walked past every day had just solved a problem their best minds couldn't crack. And no one knew how to feel about that. Not yet. Ethan stood outside the CEO's office, clutching his cap nervously in his hands. He had been called upstairs with no explanation, and his heart pounded with fear. Was he in trouble? Did they think he broke some rule? The hallway felt colder, quieter, nothing like the world he was used to sweeping. Victoria Hart, the CEO, sat behind a sleek glass desk. Her gaze was sharp, but not unkind. As Ethan stepped inside, she motioned for him to sit. He didn't. He simply stood, unsure what to say. "Was it you?" she asked, pointing to a screenshot of the whiteboard with the now famous line of code. Ethan looked down. "Yes, ma'am. I didn't mean to step out of line. I was just thinking. I used to study this kind of thing." Before, he paused, struggling for words. "Before life changed." She leaned forward. "Tell me." So he did. He spoke quietly, but every word landed heavy in the room. How he was once a brilliant MIT student, how he dreamed of designing secure systems. How his wife fell ill. How he dropped everything to care for her, and after she passed, how he took the janitor job just to stay afloat and raise his daughter. Victoria listened in silence. Not once did she interrupt. When he finished, she said only this. You solved in seconds what our top team couldn't fix in weeks. Ethan, you're not just a janitor. You're the most overlooked genius in this building. The auditorium buzzed with confusion. An all-hands meeting had been called unexpectedly, and no one knew why. Employees from every floor filled the seats, engineers, marketers, interns, and yes, even the cleaning staff. On stage stood CEO Victoria Hart, poised and serious, but with a spark in her eyes that hinted at something different. Beside her stood Ethan Cole, still in his janitor uniform, looking completely out of place and deeply uncomfortable. His hands fidgeted at his sides, and his eyes searched the crowd for a familiar face. In the front row sat his daughter, Emma, clutching her backpack and a handmade sign that read, "Go Dad." Victoria stepped up to the mic. Yesterday, this company was facing a $100 million crisis. Our best engineers couldn't fix it. But someone did. She turned to Ethan and smiled. He walked among us every day. Unnoticed. Unheard. But not unworthy. Gasps echoed through the hall as she revealed the footage, Ethan solving the problem late at night. Murmurs turned into stunned silence. Then, applause. Loud. Genuine. She continued, starting today, Ethan Cole is no longer part of our janitorial staff. He's joining our R&D department as a lead systems architect, where he belongs. Tears welled up in Ethan's eyes. Emma jumped to her feet and ran onto the stage, hugging her father tightly. The crowd rose in a standing ovation. For once, Brilliance wore a janitor's badge, and the whole company stood to honor it. A year had passed, but the memory of that day still echoed through the halls of the tech company. The once overlooked janitor, Ethan Cole, now walked the same floors in a sharp navy suit, a company ID around his neck that read, Lead Systems Architect. He still moved with quiet grace, still smiled at the cleaning staff like old friends, and still hummed the same lullaby when he worked late, though now, it came from his office, not a broom closet. His workspace was no longer a closet down the hall, but a corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city skyline. On his desk sat a photo of Emma and a drawing she'd once made, My Daddy is a Hero. She visited after school, doing her homework in his office as he solved complex system problems and mentored new engineers. Colleagues now came to him with respect, eager to learn. But Ethan never let the title change him. He was still the man who'd once swept floors while silently reading lines of code. Still the father who sacrificed everything for his daughter. Upstairs, Victoria watched him from her office window. A soft smile formed on her lips. Ethan's story had transformed more than just systems, it had shifted mindsets. A quiet reminder that greatness doesn't always come with a title, sometimes, it comes with humility, sacrifice, and heart. And in that building, one truth now lived in every hallway, genius can wear any uniform, you just have to be willing to see it.